Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining me if you're there. I'm going live via StreamYard. So if you can comment, they might show up, they might not show up. So this is the first time we're doing this live using LinkedIn. I've never done LinkedIn Live before, so this is all new for me. But it's something I wanted to do. I have been a little bit absent on social media for lots of different reasons. It's been a really busy year for me this year, and I wanted to give back a little bit. So that's why I'm going to do this. So over 12 days. So I'm going to aim to do probably about lunchtime every day, every working day. So that will take us all the way up to the 23rd of December. If you have got any comments and they don't appear in the live stream, then I will answer those comments afterwards. But the aim of these lives, they're going to be really quick, really short, because I know how busy everybody is at this time of the year. Even though some people might be winding down and maybe you've got lots of networking Christmas events to go to. So you might be busy recovering from them if you overindulge at those, or it might just be that you're really busy getting yourselves ready for Christmas. Those people that are still selling in the run up to Christmas, so they're going to be really short. What we're going to do is each day is we're going to tackle a different subject matter. I get asked a lot of different questions at different times. So it's kind of an amalgamation of those types of questions that I get asked from different people. So my aim is to help as many people thrive in 2023. So we've still got a little bit of time. Some people do a bit of planning over that Christmas 2-week break. So if these tips each day give you a little insight into how you can sell better, how you can thrive in 2023, then that is my gift to you. So today's live that we're going to do is about how to thrive during a recession. And what we tend to find is, people. The general question that I get asked by a lot of people is, how do I sell without feeling icky? And that is that general feeling that people have throughout any kind of selling experience that there's still this unfortunate hangover about selling and sales, which I think is a very outdated situation, and is a real hangover from you think of like the 1980s, and the flash harrys selling things and loads of money, and it just being all about grabbing and getting. And I'm very much, those of you who don't know me, I'm very much about giving, not getting. So my business is Moira Barnes Sales Consultancy. My ethos is selling with heart, and that giving, not getting. And it's very much about selling authentically. And so, what I try to do is to teach people how to sell in a way that is really authentic to them, makes them feel comfortable, makes them realize that what they're doing, whether it is a service or whether it is a product based business, what they're doing is actually helping people. So, never is it more of a hot potato, if you like, than when we are in a situation like the pandemic. So 2 years ago, I did a live for Mint Business Club, talking about how we need to keep selling during that pandemic. That was really important, but also during a recession. So back in 2008, I was working in the corporate world. So I worked for Hearst UK, who produce magazines for consumer magazines, so the likes of Good Housekeeping, Elle, Best Magazine, Prima Magazine. So those very well used magazines back in 2008. So we had the crash, the Lehman Brothers crash. It was a global recession that we went into, and yet we still needed to keep selling. We still needed to keep working. And that is the same in this recession that we're now finding ourselves in at the end of 2022. There still is a need for people to buy things. They still need to know about you. We've just come out of, obviously, Black Friday happened. Be interesting, we'll be getting data through about the kind of sales that we experienced during Black Friday. I certainly know I did make Black Friday purchases. I know there's also a with small businesses, there's definitely a need to say, don't just go for all those big brands. You can utilize Black Friday sales just like the big guys, or you can say, I'm not going to do Black Friday. My ethos is to give you the best deal at all times. So there's different ways of looking at it, but there will have been that. I know a lot of my friends were buying around Black Friday, so there is still that need, and that's why you need to be out there. You need to be telling people about what you're doing. So our presence is really important to maintain throughout. This year, however, what you're finding, or what I'm seeing, is that we need to alter that perception of selling, and it to not be that hard, overindulgent selling, that over the top selling. So the greatest example that we can give at the moment is the way that the famous John Lewis advert, and how they've really altered it this year. And the message that they're giving across is a message of kindness. So they're still saying, hey, we're here, for you to come and buy your hoovers, your vacuum cleaners, your TVs, whatever else, your clothes, things for the kitchen. But they've not done it in an overt way. So it's very much, if you've not seen the John Lewis advert, I don't want to ruin it, spoiler alert, but they've very much taken that ethos of kindness, and they've partnered up with a charity that is out there supporting families. So and the products that they feature in their advert, a percentage of the sales of those products in store will go to support those charities. So it's a really strong kindness message that they are trying to get across there. Flip that with Sainsbury's. It will be interesting again, the post-Christmas analysis of how campaigns, how businesses have fared over that Christmas period. So Sainsbury's advert is about, you've got the lovely Alison Hammond, who is very much a lot of people can relate to her. She's become very well known, and she's pictured in this very almost opulent dining scene, almost a gluttonous dining scene, where she is like the countess. So I think that it's kind of a play on Bridgerton, the Netflix series. So that's like a really overt, that gluttony. Let's take, 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 take. So it'll be interesting to see how that has been received by people. Are people objecting to that type of advertising, and are they gearing themselves more towards the John Lewis advert? Likewise, take you right back to during the Second World War. So during the Second World War, obviously we got to a point where food needed to be rationed, and so you had the ration coupons. Just to point out, I'm not old enough to have lived through World War II. Although this year's been a landmark year for me, I'm definitely not that old. But from the research that I've done during the Second World War, when rationing happened, Cadbury's chocolate obviously is a luxury item. It's an everyday item to us, but at a time like that during the war, it became a luxury item. But they continued advertising throughout the Second World War. They continued advertising because they wanted it to be front of mind, and it was also to there's an element of, they flipped that narrative to be, it was a help. They even created a ration chocolate bar that was made out of powdered milk. Obviously sugar was not as available as it had been, so they used different ingredients, but to create a chocolate bar to give a little bit of normality, a little bit of comfort to people when they were going through some really hard times during Second World War. And obviously, even after the Second World War finished, peacetime came, it's still rationing still continued until the 1950s, because of obviously all the resources that had been put into winning that Second World War. So they continued advertising throughout that period. So if you were on the tubes, you would see advertisements from Cadbury's chocolate. And then once we came out of rationing, Cadbury's chocolate were the best-selling chocolate in the UK, and that is because they had maintained their presence. So I think if we are going to talk about action plans for you, what I want you to do is to flip that narrative that selling is not about you going out and grabbing money from people. Selling is about, you are helping people. You have when you've started your business, you have sat down and you have thought about what your product or what your service is. You've thought about who your customer is. You've thought about how you are helping that customer. So if you have done that work, then go back to it, revisit it, remind yourself how you are helping people. What is the benefits that people are getting from you? And we'll talk more about benefits. I think it's tomorrow we're going to talk about that. But you've got to remind yourself that you are out there to help people and to aid them. So go back, look at that strategy, have a look, remind yourself who it is that you're there for, and remind yourself that you're out there helping people, and flip the narrative of what selling is. So selling, for me, selling is about giving and not getting. So yes, there might be a monetary exchange that happens with people, but you have identified that what you do is helping. So for instance, me, when I started my business, it was very much on the back of out at networking events for another business. I was talking to people really interested in what their products were, and the moment that I would show an interest and actually say, could I buy that product from you, people were shying away, and you could see that almost the light go out in their eyes. They really struggled with that selling part of the process of being a business owner. And so that is where I identified I could help people. I've been selling for 35 years now, probably. I enjoy it because I found my groove, I found my niche, and I sell in a way that is comfortable for me, ties in with my values, which is of being very honest with people. And so that's what I wanted to teach people, is that they need to align what they're doing with their personal values, and that is how you thrive in business. So during this recession, just remember, people still need your services, still need your products, and they need to find out about them. They need to hear about them. So don't shy away from selling during a recession, and keep that momentum going. Keep that knowledge of who you are and where you are, so that when people are in a better position, they're going to come back to you. They're going to remember how helpful you were during the recession, and they're going to keep coming back and buying from you. So that is today's top tip for you. As I say, I'm going to be coming live to you every day via LinkedIn, and also on my YouTube channel, Selling with Heart TV. But also, if you are interested, I also have an ebook that I've created. And if you want to grab that ebook, then you can grab that via this link that's on screen now. So moirabarnes.com/ebook, and you'll get that as my gift to you. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about hitting the right note when describing your benefits to the customer. So we'll be coming live again at midday, a very quick live. I don't want these to be any longer than 15 minutes because I know how busy you are, but these are my gift to you, and I hope you've enjoyed that first gift that I've given you this time. So I'm going to see you every working day, and right up until Christmas. So that's great. So lovely. I've just had a comment there that has come in. So there we go. We know that the technology works. That's from the lovely Mark Orr. I heard a great quote recently: market for the recovery, not the recession. Absolutely, Mark. Market for the recovery, not the recession. So just think about what you are doing and what you can do for your customers and your clients that you've already identified. So thank you, Mark. Thanks for joining us. And I look forward to reading any further comments that come through. But I'm going to wrap up now, and I'll see you all tomorrow for our next live, that will be the how we are going to get the benefits right for our customers. So see you then. Take care. Bye bye.